Hi everyone, this is meowmurai. Let's continue our game of Spirit Hunter Deathmark 2 running on PlayStation 5. Take care, Yashiki. Be sure to return. It's time to go to the clock tower. The departed awaits. The clock tower. The departed must be waiting inside to exchange vows with their groom, me. Once I step inside here, the case is coming to some kind of conclusion. Though there is one matter left that I need to resolve before I enter this place, and that is the true identity of the departed, who has been hiding here in Konoehara Academy. In the Red Wedding Hall, please call the name of your bride who is hiding in school. Reading the notice, it seems like they want an answer. I won't have time to think about it once I'm inside, so now's the only time I'll have to think it over. There will be crucial choices after this. Once you make your choice, you won't be able to return to the infirmary until the story progresses. You may want to collect more lost souls and sacred objects and save your progress first. Shall we solve the departed's mystery? I mean, I think we're okay. I'm sure I'm going to regret that. First of all, I have some speculations about their identity. About 100 years ago, there were brides who were brutally murdered during a wedding ceremony in M-Town. Harboring grudges against all the residents while still longing for marriage, they were devoured by insects and mold. Their enormous grudges turned them into the departed, that much we know. Now the real question is, how did the departed hide in the school? Toshihiko Izumi said the departed was pretending to be a human. If he was telling the truth, I have a feeling they transformed into someone I know. They would want to observe their groom, me, from nearby. People of Konoehara Academy are who interacted with me. Many of them were victims in the spirit cases. Naomi Hirakoshi, Shinichi Kakuta, Ritsu Sakamoto. They're no longer here. I couldn't protect them. The ones who are still alive are Headmaster Saizo Konoe, Himiko Doryu, Haruake Abe, and Saki Maruhashi, and Michiho Kurukawa, whose status is unknown. Michiho died at the clock tower last night, but if she was the departed, her death would not prove her innocence. There's also the matter of the things we noticed at her dorm room. There's clearly something odd about that room. It's safe to say Michiho Kurukawa is a prime suspect. Let's start deducing now. Assuming the departed is among the ones still alive, we can exclude Mr. Konoe and Abe. The departed is said to be a bride, and the ones who hold grudges are female, so it stands to reason that they transform into a girl. This is still just conjecture, obviously. But without solid evidence, I'm going to have to make some assumptions to narrow down the suspects to the most likely candidates. What about Maruhashi? I didn't meet her until Mr. Kokudi's case. Before that, the departed attacked both I and Cho after learning about my friendship with them. Maruhashi doesn't know that they're my friends, so the chances of her being the departed are slim. Doryu is rather suspicious. Together with Michio, she's been helping me from the very beginning. Additionally, she knows all about the case and is quite interested in me. We can assume Himiko Doryu is a suspect. This is just a possibility, but if Michiho or Doryu are the departed, their smiles when they call my name and when they told me they believed in me, it all came from the dead. That reality would be a bitter pill to swallow. However, there's still another possibility, and that's the fact that Izumi might not have been telling the truth. Izumi was going insane at the time. He might not have intended to lie, though that's not to say that he didn't lie either. If we consider that possibility, the female doll would seem suspicious. We were eaten by Mushikabi. Her last words matched the ritual scene I saw in my mind, especially because the word "we" could refer to the two brides. Two souls with the same resentment turned into a single spirit. And that spirit is the departed. The possibility is there. We can assume the female doll is also a suspect. Unlike a detective novel or police drama, we're not just going to turn up definitive evidence in a spirit case like this. Despite that, I still had to make a choice. Among the three likely candidates, which is the departed? I can't afford to make a mistake. Michiho Kinakawa is the departed. Himiko Doryu is the departed. The female doll is she doesn't seem like the departed, so no. Michio and Doryu are the departed, not the female doll. Is that my final answer? Sure. Kind of makes sense. There's two people, and that departed is definitely more than one person. I know my answer. Time to go to the clock tower. Everything will be clear there, whether I like it or not. The door to the clock tower is open. The departed is waiting for me up ahead. I can't even imagine what will happen next. I inhale the clear night air and breathe it out. Then I push the door open. The cabinet with old books inside. There's nothing there but books and junk now. Mannequin without limbs. What in the world? There are red handprints all over the wall. They're red mold, not blood. The same type of mold as on the notices. The tower wasn't like this before. The clock tower has changed. Is this the work of the departed? Ugh. What is this dreadful sensation filling the air? The power of the curse is overwhelming. I had to put an end to it quickly. This place is... I should be back on the first floor. Instead, I find myself in this red room again. Something beyond my comprehension is happening right now. Shit, this is bad. The curse is slowly eating my body. My body won't last if I don't put a stop to this right now. What's that? Something is rolling on the floor. This is... broken remains of a female doll. But how? What happened? With the pain from the curse and the agitation from the surprise, my head is about to burst. Calm down. Just calm your ass down. So I say to myself over and over again. Then I inspect the broken female doll. Her limbs are missing. Only her head, dress, and some broken pieces remain. When I look closely at the broken pieces, I see something resembling teeth marks. This is most likely from a bite. Was she devoured by the departed? The departed grew stronger after devouring the doll, which turned the lights in the special building red. It does make sense. I hear a faint voice. Is this the doll's voice? Take me. Eat me. What do you want to say? Eat me. Protect you from red curse. Her voice goes silent. What did the female doll say? Take me? Eat me to protect you? From the red curse? I still don't get it. However, this doll mustered all of her remaining strength just to say that to me, so I can't ignore her words. I'd better take her corpse with me. Contained head of the female doll. Contained red dress. The malicious disturbance that was happening in this place has subsided. It makes me feel a little better. Is this all thanks to this female doll? Confrontation with the departed has been added to the spirit file. Let's see. With the final confrontation, the departed harbors a massive grudge while also longing to exchange vows with their groom. A document I found on M-Town's ceremony mentions that the etiquette and tools used all have great significance. I need to remember all of this in case some trivial thing can be used against the departed. The female doll's last words concerned me. She told me to bring her to protect myself. What does she mean by the red curse and eat me? Do I really have to? Nothing makes sense. So much is at stake. Who do I believe? Who do I doubt? Time's running out. I have to make a decision. I climb the ladder once again. Where will this ladder take me this time? Will I end up climbing the clock tower for all eternity without an exit? My mind conjures up numerous ominous predictions like this, one after another. Except I know that that can't be how it ends. What the departed wants is a wedding ceremony, and a groom is needed for that to happen. I guess this ladder is like a vertical wedding aisle. And waiting for me at the end will be my bride. Hey, there's the altar. I find myself in a bright red room. The stone walls and floors are covered with red mold. There are strange plants growing on the floor that look like overgrown moss. A sight that you'll never see in nature. Did the departed cause this paranormal phenomena? There's an altar in the middle of the room. It's an altar that would be the center of a Western-style wedding. This will be the end of my walk down the aisle, then. I take the notice out and check it. Dear husband, the day to exchange vows has arrived. I shall be waiting for you under the oath bell. Please come after you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, in the red wedding hall, please call the name of your bride who is hiding in school, your beloved, the departed. In the red wedding hall, please call the name of your bride who is hiding in school. This place must be the red wedding hall. Then I should call the departed by the name they've been using at school. Right, the very name I have guessed. I wonder if there's a reason why they want me to call them by their name here. Perhaps the departed wishes to have a groom that really knows every single thing about his bride. Everything, even their terrifying secrets. The departed, who has been hiding in Konoehara Academy. Your real name is... Michio Kurukawa and Himiko Doryu. My voice echoes throughout the room. There's no answer at all, only the heavy silence filling the air. I expected nothing less of you, my dear husband. I believed in you. Two people appear before my eyes. Doryu, Michio. I was hoping I was wrong. However, my guess was on the mark. Dear husband, we've been watching you while hiding in the school the whole time. Dear husband, we've tested you to see if you're worthy of being our real husband or not. Both of them sound dead. Their eyes are lifeless. They don't look like the Doryu and Michio I came to know. You two are? The departed's brides. The Miyamura sisters, Mikiko and Michio Miyamura. Right. Sisters was the key to unlocking the truth. The departed wasn't just one entity hiding at the school. It was two. I had proof that Michio was the departed, which meant that the person who received the curse at the same time would also be the departed. Doryu, bearing that mark on her face, is displaying the evidence that she's indeed the departed as well. Then, are you the ones who caused all those spirits to appear? That is correct. So the spirit I saw clinging to Doryu's back was fake. The groom only needs his bride. The bride only needs her groom. Everyone else is unnecessary. If they're allowed to keep using the dead to cause more casualties, the damage will be incalculable as their victims become new spirits. More and more people will die until the bride and groom are all that remain. That's the ending the departed desires. I have to stop this twisted madness at any cost. Dear husband, you have shown us your brilliant intelligence. You managed to learn the truth about us without being deceived by sympathy or fake deaths. Dear husband, you have shown us your impeccable lineage. Due to your bloodline, you were able to see, hear, and face the spirits. Dear husband, you have shown us your stunning personality. Having formed an emotional bond with us brides, you mustered up the courage to push through your fear for us. You're not like those weak, fragile, beheaded men, or the coward who fled from the notice. You're different from those fake grooms. Dear heavens, you truly are our real husband. What are you going to do to me? We are the departed's brides and groom. Let us exchange our marriage vows in this red wedding hall, and spend our days in this Ushikabi chamber forever after. That is the happy ending we long for. But, Mikiko, dear husband looks delicious. I can't control myself anymore. Dear husband, can I bite you? No, okay. Michio's face changes before my eyes. How terrifying. Is this the departed's true form? Wanna bite, husband. Every time she speaks, the insects coming out of her mouth move their legs. What is that black liquid dripping from her mouth? Is that her saliva? Does she see me as food? I'm completely disoriented. My mind can't process everything before me. I feel like the last thin thread of my sanity is going to snap. Do not rush, Michio. We must exchange vows first. Days, weeks, and months from now, our husband's body shall be dyed in Mushikabi's color. His organs shall be infested with mold, and he'll be filled with insects, making him beautiful. We need to wait until that time, alright? Wanna bite. What a troublesome child. Dear husband, you are a bad man. Because you really do look delicious. Dear husband, can I bite you? The mark on Dodia's face starts spreading like mold, distorting her face. Is that unsightly look on her face supposed to be joy? I'm quaking in fear just looking at her. I can't even muster a scream. Want to bite, want to bite. Want to bite, to bite, to bite, to bite. They can no longer control their ravenous hunger. The figures of two brides who longed for a wedding are no longer here. Instead, what I'm seeing now are two long-dead spirits who are warped by madness. Mikiko, shall we bite him together? Michio, let us bite him together. Dodio and Michio look at each other. Then they hug one another. Their arms and legs intertwined, body pressed against body, sticking like glue. After repeating the same motion several times, the boundary between the two disappears and they have united into one. Look, dear husband. Look at us. We have consumed the scarlet marionette. Now, what is the scarlet marionette exactly? I guess it's whatever good was left within them. Kind of a Silent Hillish sort of thing. And when the candlestick is relit, dear husband, am I beautiful now? Ugh. My mind and body are overwhelmed by fear, like I'm a toad being hypnotized by a serpent. The departed has gained a new form from the swirling red mold, a grotesque-looking demon coming out of a doll's bulging belly. I can feel her intense emotion as her 4 eyes stare me down, and that emotion is desire. The scarlet desire to devour their beloved and usher them to their demise. Is it even possible to save them? Dear husband, let me bathe all of you in the color of insects. A flood of insects issue forth from their mouth and assault me. If this keeps up, I'll be eaten alive by bugs. But I can't give up here. What should I do? We got insects, we got frog. The frog can eat the insects, yeah?
Yosh.
Maybe. I hold up the dried up frog to cover myself from the attacking bugs. I hold the dried up frog in front of me. The moment I lay my hand on the frog, I remember what the voice told me earlier. Frogs drive away bugs. This might work then. The departed sneers at as the insects pour forth an attack. But then the insects disperse into the darkness to avoid the frog. Looks like this is the right choice. The departed shrieks in anger upon seeing the insects leave. They seem to be muttering something. The heck are they saying? Bugs? No. Is it mold? Just as I think that to myself, a sharp pain runs through my arm. Mold starts growing on my arm. So now they're going with mold, huh? I can feel the mold spreading throughout my body. I feel like vomiting. Dear husband, let me bathe you in the color of mold. I'll get consumed by mold at this rate. No time to sit around. Oh, do I still have that bottle of bleach on me? I probably don't carry it around with me. I need to do something before this damn mold covers my whole body. Except I don't really have an idea of what I need to do. Let's believe there are clues somewhere, because if I don't do something, I'll be dead. Oh, but it all said to eat her to protect myself from the red curse, right? Okay. And then eat a little bit. Grabbing the female doll's head, I try eating a piece of it. The moment I lay my hand on the doll's broken remains, I remember what the voice said at that time. Eat me to protect you from the red curse. A little bit nervous, I warily take a bite of the female doll's head. With an unpleasant sensation, like I'm chewing on a stone, and then a clay texture and taste start to spread inside my mouth. Making up my mind, I swallow it down. At that moment, both the mold and the unpleasant nausea disappear in an instant. Looks like this is the right choice. The departed sounds distraught after seeing both the insects and mold cleared away. Letting out a roar, they approach me. Are they going to eat me now? Can I bite you? My beloved husband. Let me bite you. Here we go again. The departed won't ever be satisfied until they kill me. Although, if the meowmurai sisters are the departed, do they really want my death? The meowmurai sisters longed for a blissful marriage. Tell me, this bloody ritual can't be the dream wedding that you two, or that you always wanted. What is it that you really want? Dear husband. Is that their answer? They sound sad. Right at that moment, I hear something distant from the darkness shrouding my vision. Give it back. That voice just now. By give it back, do you mean... Shit, it's not working, huh? I'm pretty sure the voice just now was the departed's true feelings. They've returned to being their mad monster form. Can I bite you? Bite, 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 bite. I guess you really can't communicate with a spirit, huh? But at least I've got a clue now. I might be able to save the departed soul using that clue. There's something I need to give back to them. It's probably something used in a celebration, given that this is a wedding. Dress. Present it carefully. I carefully present the red dress to the departed. Holding the dress with both hands, I get down on my knees and offer it to the departed. I shall give you this dress. Vermilion thread, give. The departed mutters something with a smile. Did they just tell me to give them vermilion thread? I'm pretty sure this dress is made of red silk thread, so it should fit the bill. Is this the standard custom during a real wedding? Is this the celebration you want? The departed stares at me in silence. They seem somewhat bewildered. I guess this is the evidence that I've stirred something in their heart. Looks like this is the right choice. The departed takes a slow, deep breath. Perhaps the departed longs to experience a traditional M-Town wedding ceremony. Remember, the true vows you long for. The departed sins breathing heavily. The departed starts breathing heavily. Did that trigger a memory or something? Letting out a roar, they approach me. Can I bite you? Bite, 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 bite. Shit, guess that's not it? The departed has gone insane once again. They're on the verge of devouring me. However, there's no way I can give up here. Think, damn it. There must still be something I can do. Oh, we're in 4 acts. Okay, this is... I guess it might be the final battle, so... What the departed probably wants is a traditional wedding. I believe the groom usually gives something to their bride, but it's still not enough. What else should I do? She wanted vermilion, so... We can smear it on the departed's lips, smear it on the departed's teeth, or smear it on the departed's nails. I think you're supposed to do the teeth? I opened the vermilion ink container to apply it to the departed's teeth. I mean, I'm picking up all these teeth this whole time, you know? Dipping my finger in the vermilion ink, I call out to the departed. Let us exchange our wedding vows. Let me paint your teeth red. Dear husband. I feel like the departed isn't as deranged as they were before. Now's the time. I nervously extend the fingers I've coated with vermilion ink toward the departed. This is what's written in the chief priest's notes I found at Mushikabi Shrine. At wedding ceremonies in M-Town, the groom is supposed to give the bride vermilion thread and paint her teeth red. All the M-Town brides were overjoyed to be on the receiving end of this traditional practice. Using what I've got, a dress made with red silk thread would equate to giving the bride vermilion thread, and smearing red ink on their teeth aligns with painting their teeth red with lipstick. Why wouldn't you paint their lips? So, if I were to do that now, I gently smear the vermilion ink on the departed's teeth, giving them a blessing. The departed, this is the blessing that I, your groom, give to you. My bride. After a long silence, their lips curve into a smile. Then, dear husband, for so long, for so long, for you. After muttering such a thing, the departed disappears with a cry that is oddly neither filled with love nor hatred. Looks like this is the right choice. This should be good. Or is it? Did the departed regain their lost blessings so they can finally rest in peace? I really hope that's the case. However, a cold wind refuses to stop blowing through the gaping hole in my heart. Doryu, Michio. For a while, I simply stand rooted to this spot, stunned and distraught. And I think about the way those girls simply disappeared without regaining their consciousness. I remember the look on their faces when that happened. They were smiling for some reason. It's time to go. Now that I've managed to survive this ordeal, somehow, there are some things that I must do. As I descend, I notice that the red handprints on the wall have now vanished. I assume that all the other strange phenomena have ceased after the departed's departure. The clock tower is frozen in time. Bet the hands won't move ever again. Because the two students who wanted to make that happen for the school's 70th anniversary are no longer with us. I better get out of here. Yasuoka's waiting for me. The party's ending has been added to the spirit file. The vengeful Mayamura sisters who took Michio and Doryu's bodies were the culprits. They longed for a happy marriage with their chosen groom, even after death. While I can't be their real husband, I hope the red thread and lipstick were enough to fulfill their wishes. The girls in my vision were school age. Were they able to wash away some of their resentment after experiencing their stolen youth? As a spirit doctor, I'd like to believe I set them free from their curse. I hope their smiles before they faded is the answer to my question. Characters Mikiku Mayamura and Michio Mayamura have been added. I shall let Yasuoka know how this case ended. Welcome back, Yashiki. The spirit that was possessing Yasuoka is gone now, and the light in the infirmary is no longer red. Is it over? Yeah. You did well. Where's Doryu? Yashiki. Yasuoka looks at me with gentle eyes. She then follows with a slight knowing nod. Things happened, I see. Just tell me whenever you're ready. No rush. I'm sorry. Want me to answer that? No, it's fine. I'll do it. Hello? Try being a bit more cheery, will ya? This annoyed tone and these harsh words. You're alive, Mashida? Yep, I failed to die. I lost my phone, so I couldn't call. Took me a while to find a working public phone. Thank God you managed to escape. I was sprinting through that damn forest so hard I wanted to puke the whole time. They almost caught my ass several times, but luckily for me, they disappeared midway through the chase. They probably decided to go be with their husband rather than playing tag with me. How'd it go on your end? It's over. The departed has vanished. Ah, okay then. Did you save the departed? I think so. Okay. I think I did. Then why do you sound like you're at a funeral? Perk the fuck up, man. Mission accomplished. You should be proud of yourself. Nobody thinks you're cruel for doing what needed to be done. Sorry, but I'm not really in the mood for that. Yeah, not surprised at all. I'm heading there now. Give me the details once I'm there. Bye. That was Mashida, wasn't it? I'm glad he's safe and sound. He said he's coming here. Shall we leave once he arrives, then? You should rest, Yashiki. I'll contact the headmaster for you. Thanks, Yasuoka. I'm touched by Yasuoka's thoughtfulness, since the last scene is so vivid in my mind. I don't think I can deliver a professional report to the headmaster right now. By the way, Yashiki, why are you holding on to that? Oh, you mean this? I hadn't even realized it, but I'm clutching something I picked up in the clock tower. It's the female doll's head and dress. They saved my life. There's no particular reason. Maybe I'm just feeling sentimental.
H 市の空を冷たい秋の風が吹き抜ける。その夜、誰もいない学園から鳴り響く鐘を何人かの近隣住民が耳にした。鐘の音はすすり泣くような寂しく悲しげなものだったという。弔いの鐘とすれば、それは他がためのものなのか。怪異に奪われ殺されたこの事件の犠牲者たちか、あるいは死人にその身を奪われた姫子と道夫。遠い過去に死人の嫁入りで生き絶えた哀れな娘たちか。いずれにしても死人を取り巻く一連の怪事に終わりを告げる鐘なのかもしれない。だがこれで全てが終わりではない。仮にも怪異化を名乗るとすれば、魂の想念に触れたものとしてそれぞれの死をさらに深く見つめなくてはならない。たとえそこにいかなる恐怖や困難、痛みが待つとしても、あの日心に刻まれた印に、そして愛する者と亡き者たちに柔らかな日が差すその日まで。
Wow, a lot of people died in this one. I mean, there's a fair amount of death in all the chapters, but boy, I think this is like the most death of all of the games. But yeah, there you go. That's the base game. That's the standard ending, I believe. So there is a way to get the true ending, but true ending, the only way to get the true ending is to beat the game once with the regular ending, I think. I don't know if there's like a bad ending. I mean, I'm sure there is, but I think we've done all the steps to have the good ending. So this is the good ending, right? We've saved the Departed, and although they, ended up killing most of the cast, at least we managed to save their soul. There is also some bonus material if you decided to purchase the deluxe edition. So there's an extra chapter to be done. And again, if you want the true ending, after you finish the game, then you can go back in and re-select Chapter 6, start from there, and hopefully during the time you play you haven't killed anyone, because it is possible to lose some of your compatriots, but I think it also lets you just reset the status of the people so that they are alive. So that way you don't have to go all the way back to the beginning and start all the way over. So they did think of that at least. The Spirit Hunter series is really good. I know it's a bit of a cult game, has a cult following. It's obviously not on the level of Resident Evil or Silent Hill. It's not that, it doesn't have that wide-reaching audience, at least not yet. And these visual novel style horror stories, I think are really good, but there are people out there who want more solidified gameplay. We did get it this time with the 2D exploration, which we haven't gotten before in the previous two games. So that sort of pulls it away a little bit from the more traditional visual novel horror style games. You know, it takes them out of being, you know, hidden object games, and now they're now it's closer to just a visual novel. So I think those changes are good. I think it's a great looking game too. I mean, the art's really solid. The 2D sections are really good as well. You know, obviously you're not doing anything too terribly fancy, but it doesn't force you to do, you know, quick time events. I think the puzzles are, I think they're clever enough. Like the last couple ones are pretty tough, I think. You have to have a pretty good memory for everything that happened, but I think they're reasonable, right? I think you could deduce a lot of this stuff on your own, which again is a part of the franchise's appeal, is that it's not trying to trick you with, you know, gotcha puzzles. It is trying to give you enough information for you to deduce an answer, you know. And when you have the suspected act, you know, essentially the boss battles, you should have enough information to at least take some reasonable guesses. I think the only bad thing about this is that, you know, even if you make the right choice, you know, your percentage is still in play, right? So in the previous games, if you made the right choice, the percentage didn't really matter, right? If it was the right choice, it sort of boosted the percentage up. But here, I mean, it's raw percentage. So if you make the right choice and you're with maybe the wrong partner character and they only give you 75%, well, you know, there's a possibility that you will fail even though you made the right choice. So that's kind of a bummer. No, that's fine. That's kind of a bummer that it is the way it is. But you know, what are you gonna do? That is how it is. A week has passed since that night. Konoehara Academy hasn't changed much since my first visit. Though this is only the calm before the storm. Even though the spirit has vanished, the truth and the havoc they wrought still remain. Weekly magazines and the like have littered with articles about mysterious disappearances at the H-City school. It's only a matter of time before the press descends upon the school. When that happens, students will lose their normality once again. But there's nothing I can do about that. I walk past the students and enter the school. Unlike my first visit here, the bell doesn't ring. Oh, you're here, Yashiki. Apologies, I've been quite busy lately. I've had my hands full with parents and police asking for explanations about the students who have disappeared. Though, all I can do is tell them that I don't know anything more than they do. Or than they do. And so I get called an irresponsible headmaster. Haha. Quite a few people have gone missing in a short amount of time, and yet we can't share what actually transpired. Being thrust into the limbo between reality and the spirit world, he's got a pretty tough situation. Sooner or later, I'll have to resign. Someone will be made to bear the responsibility for these incidents. I've got no regrets, though. The case is solved, and I can hold my head high knowing what happened. Mr. Konoe, I've read your report. I feel absolutely terrible for Sakamoto. And I can't believe Doryu and Kinukawa were actually the departed. I have no intention of revealing the truth, obviously. It's not like that would allay the concerns of anyone. We shall consider them to be missing persons, like Sakamoto and the others. That should be fine. The real versions of them are victims too. Actually, I was curious as to why the departed pretended to be Doryu and Kinukawa in order to hide among the students. There doesn't seem to be a need to mingle with everyone here in order to simply find a husband. I don't know either. There are a number of things concerning the departed that still don't make any sense to me. Such as, why were they in the clock tower? Maybe you'll get a bit more closure about that matter if you read this. He proceeds to hand me a leather journal from the nearby desk. This journal belonged to my grandfather, the first headmaster of Konoehara Academy. A relative found this at their home and sent it my way. I know now exactly the ideal time for you to see this, but feel free to take your time looking it over. Thanks. I'll borrow this then. I guess that's all from me. But let me thank you one last time. I appreciate all your help, Yashiki. You helped me save Konoehara Academy. I also wanted to extend my sincerest apologies for being harsh with you. Oh, don't worry about that. I know you were desperate to save both the school and the students. I'm glad you understand. That reminds me, Diamond will be here today. Why don't you go talk to him? Sure thing. I say goodbye to Mr. Konoe and leave the faculty room. Diamond has been waiting in the infirmary. Long time no see, Yashiki. How are you feeling, Diamond? I think resting in that hospital bed actually did me some good. I'm feeling better. Well, better is relative for me. He's still got that lingering cough, but his voice is full of life. Seems like he's fully recovered. Sorry I had to abandon you midway. I ended up forcing everything on you, all the responsibility and emotional trauma. Many people died because of this case. It's a bit sad and lonely knowing no one will ever learn the truth beside those of us who were involved. True. Let us remember those who died at the very least. It's a cross that all of us who are involved in the incident will have to bear. Nevertheless, we live on, believing that we will save somebody else another day. It's a remark Diamond said during Hanako's case. The suffering of a doctor who constantly has to face the grim reality of death. Despite that, he's still determined to save others. I comprehend the weight of those words a bit more now. I'll keep that in mind. Having the spirit doctor tell me that made me feel blessed to be a doctor. Say, Yashiki, I hope you keep pushing ahead on your own, in your own way, despite all the struggles that come. There's got to be someone out there who's just waiting for you to extend your hand. I finish my conversation with Diamond, say my goodbyes, and leave the infirmary. Then I head straight out of the school. I find myself at the front gate. School's been over for a while, so there are a few students still milling around. Oh, Yashiki. Hello. What are you doing here, Ai? Diamond told me you were here today. Looks like I almost missed you, huh? It's all because Sho keeps slowing me down. Shut it with your bullshit. You're the one at fault here. What's the point in making me dress like this, even though the case is over? The case is over, but we're still gonna stick out like a sore thumb if we wear casual clothes to a school. Plus, this is another great chance to wear the Konoehara Academy uniform. You look good in that blazer, Sho. Yikes, stop it. You're giving me the creeps. I would have passed if I'd known it'd be like this. Yeah, totally. I worked 7 days straight and I finally got a day off. Just wanted to lay on the couch and drink. Both of you complain way too much. Looks like I invited both of them here. It feels like it's been an eternity since we all saw each other last. I asked some of the others too, but apparently they already had plans today. Glad to see you're doing well, old man. Because you looked like a zombie when we were on that case. Is that so? You got some bags under your eyes, though. Have you been staying up late? Oh, you mean this? I've been doing some work at home. Sometimes I get too caught up in my work, and by the time I realize it, the sun's creeping through the blinds. You're still living that kind of life even after the case? One hell of a night owl. Rest is just as important as work, Yashiki. Should we go and grab something good to eat? I like that idea. I know a good ramen shop. They pile on the pork and green onions. Why ramen? Cake is much better, right, Yashiki? No, You don't have to work hard today, right, Yashiki? You're gonna collapse if you don't take a breather once in a while. And you're not good at that. Fine. In the end, I let myself be dragged to both a popular ramen place and a cake shop. I and Sho are as bubbly as ever, while Hiro chimes in occasionally with sardonic comments. Observing the scene in front of me, it feels like this is the first time I've been able to have a normal, ordinary day in quite a while. However, there's a strange feeling I can't shake, as if I'm walking around in shoes that don't fit. I guess this is what readapting to mundane life feels like. Guess I'm just too used to having dark unnatural forces inserting themselves in my life. I skimmed through the first headmaster's journal that Mr. Konoe loaned me. The stuff written inside is related to the female doll and the departed. The first headmaster knew about M-Town's horrific ritual, the departed's wedding. He apparently learned about it from a former M-Town resident. He wanted to offer condolences to the victims of the ritual and those who were claimed by the departed's wrath. He particularly pitied the meowmurai sisters, whose dreams of a happy marriage was betrayed. Inside the clock tower that was built to celebrate Konoehara Academy's 10th anniversary, he built a room as a memorial service, complete with an altar where he offered a Western doll. That doll was the female doll in the scarlet dress. He got it from someone who dealt in spiritual items. It said that the female doll was made to be an offering for a pitiful soul and had hidden spiritual power. Learning that, the headmaster believed the doll could soothe the souls of the meowmurai sisters. He then dressed the doll in a beautiful bridal gown. In his mind, he was being thoughtful to the sisters, who had their matrimonial wishes twisted into a grotesque ritual. His love for antique things was probably what led him to choose the red dress over a now traditional white gown. The first headmaster may have thought he was helping, but romanticizing the tragedy of the two brides eventually led to this disaster. The deep-seated grudge of the meowmurai sisters remained in the Konoehara area, and that grudge began dwelling inside the female doll. Eventually, the departed was born. And that's where the journal ends. The first headmaster passed away after that. Perhaps the departed's curse killed him as well. He set the events in motion, and then, 60 years later, the departed appeared at Konoehara Academy. No one can ever truly know how or why such things occur. We can only imagine and speculate. After the first headmaster's death, the female doll disappeared. It was taken from the clock tower, or at least the part normal people could access. The place the doll ended up must have been the Red Room, somewhere only the departed could access. They were awaiting a new vessel other than the doll, one in which they could make their dreams of a happy marriage come true. That replacement finally came after so many years. One summer break, 2 female students visited the clock tower. Those students were the real Michio Kinukawa and Himiko Doryu. They were there for the clock tower renovation project to commemorate the school's 70th anniversary. The departed brought them to the altar room, and they killed them using the curse of insects and mold, claiming their bodies and memories. The oldest sister, Mikiko Mayamura, became Himiko Doryu, while the younger sister, Michio, turned into Michiho Kinukawa. Then they hid in the school, attempting to find a husband that was suitable to fulfill their wish for a happy marriage. The rest is history. The departed used other spirits and notices as tests for their groom candidates. The Doryu and Michio I'd come to know were fakes. Everything was an act. Despite that, both of them looked and acted far too human. Their warm words, their gentle smiles and innocence, Did they really need to go so far just to test me to see if I was worthy of marriage? Why did they do all that? This is just a hunch, but maybe when the departed stole Doryu and Michio's memories, they might have noticed that there were other ways to satisfy their deep, unrealized wishes. Doryu called that possibility love. The departed spent their days in the school trying to stay near their husband, having conversations and swapping smiles like any other youths. Born in a feudal town 100 years ago, maybe they'd never had the opportunity to experience that before. As a result, their love for their husband grew. This would have been something that they truly treasured. That might have been how they could act so naturally, protecting that glittering youth. Who knows, maybe they even wish they could just continue living in that way. Except they were spirits. They couldn't escape their sanguinolent fate. In order to fulfill their desire for marriage, they ended up choosing the spirit's path. Perhaps it was the only way they knew to get what they craved. Dear husband, for so long, for so long, for you. I wonder what the departed was trying to say at that time. Did it have something to do with love? Even their intense resentment disappeared just by imitating M-Town's traditional wedding. Was that also because of their love? If that's true, my strange life as a teacher and the time I spent with them was not so in vain. Because that way, the memories we made together are what ended up saving those girls. The departed. A terrifying spirit that killed a lot of people in the last 2 months. Though considering their grudges and wishes, they were also poor victims themselves. The terror and sadness that filled them, after learning both sides of the coin. I want to forgive the departed. I can't forgive. Well, we can forgive them. I want to forgive the departed. They're victims. And as spirits, they couldn't control themselves. I reached for my cup after that. Checking on the liquid inside, I get up from my seat and check the time. The day has already changed. Late at night? Guess it's time. Time to start working. I head to my room on the 2nd floor, and then alright, all done. I finally managed to fix it. I was able to use the techniques I learned at the workshop I found when looking up information about doll care. And though it's fixed, her soul won't come back. This female doll saved my life. The departed's grudges moved from this doll to Doryu and Michio. So who was the spirit inhabiting this doll? I have a hunch. It may have been the souls of the real Michio and Doryu. Those 2 girls were brimming with spiritual energy, which is likely why the departed chose to claim their bodies. I have a hunch that their souls dwelled inside the doll after they were killed. The way the doll's appearance changed as the departed transformed might be evidence that the girls' souls were still connected to their bodies. So the doll was wandering around the school without their memories, not knowing what to do. Despite being in that confused state, their fear and resentment of the departed still remained. That's why they helped me. Still, what's the point of me fixing this doll? It's not like it'll speak again if it's mended. Plus, even if it were to talk, what useful information would it possibly have for me? As far as I know, the souls contained inside this doll belong to the actual Michio and Doryu, not the fake versions who considered me their teacher. It's a pointless undertaking, and I have a feeling it'll only make me feel emptier inside. So why do I keep doing this? I guess it's a form of prayer. It won't change anything, though I also believe that this isn't for nothing. I believe some souls will be saved if I do this. Hang on a little longer, you two. Mr. Yashiki. Boy, that was a long epilogue. I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought it would just end. But it has been a long time since we played the original game, so maybe that happened also in the original games. I'm not really 100% sure. So again, yeah, we can do extra content. Or we can choose continue, and then we can use this game save to choose a chapter, right? And we choose chapter 6, and then the events of chapter 6 would change. And if we choose extra content, then we can do the extra rumors or Princess Mock. But yeah, we'll do that next time. So we'll stop this one for tonight. This is meowmurai. You've been watching Spirit Hunter Deathmark 2, running on PlayStation 5. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.